So how's it going, Memphis Tiger fans, fellow residents of Memphis, Shelby County, and surrounding areas in Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi? It's me again, and I have quite the rant to share with you today. Today is Sunday, April 18th. March 18th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But it's Sunday. It's easy to confuse the days of the month these days in this quarantine situation. But I'm here in the Valentine Evergreen Trail that is around the corner from my lovely and comfortable home, which I occupy by myself, and gladly so, given the circumstances. I noted that, of course, in a couple other episodes, that we have an outsized relationship with sports here in Memphis. We have highly rated radio segments in 92.9 ESPN radio FM, and I think because of the opportunity that being on these segments presents itself, we actually have we have a mixed bag, but among this mixed bag of on-air personalities, we have a couple of very notable, award-winning national citizens of the world. And I'm mentioning specifically Gary Parrish, who has a spot on CBS News basketball, and Jeff Calkins, who is the lead sports columnist for the Daily Memphian, the digital online news source, recently having left the Commercial Appeal, which was the mainline news organization, and he did this after leaving a career in corporate law in Washington, D.C. He did that after a undergraduate degree in political science at Harvard, and I don't know where he got his law degree, probably from Harvard as well. Yeah. That's the caliber of person we have as an FM sports commentator here in Memphis. Now, I want to call out specifically a recent segment Friday's segment, which was 2 days ago, the last one that they had, by Mark Giannotto and Jeffrey Wright. I think Jeffrey has local credentials. Mark Giannotto was, before he got furloughed from the Commercial Appeal, the beat writer for the Memphis Tigers, and he had actually obtained that position after leaving the Washington Post to cover the state of Virginia's college athletics. So he comes and graduate of the University of Michigan. He comes with some pretty sweet credentials, of course. I would have to say, though, that given their large audience, unfortunately, they had a very objectionable segment to dealing with the reality of our community, nation, and world of the pandemic of the COVID-19. For 10 minutes, they talked. I would have to say, every sentence was objectionable, dangerous nonsense. This was in the second hour of their talk with, let me see, Clinton Yates. They had the second hour of their talk on Friday. They started off with Clinton Yates from ESPN was their featured guest. And Clinton Yates told us a bunch of things we already need to know. We were worried about, we said, oh my gosh, seems like every time this NCAA is really just putting the hammer, and like we got all these bad news with Memphis basketball recruiting. We were on top of the world, and all of this sort of got pulled under the rug. And Clinton Yates told us something we all needed to hear, that nobody cares. Nobody cares about what's going on in Memphis. This whole thing about eligibility, the eligibility changes, is affecting us more than anybody, and everybody just go and take it all in stride. Okay, so we lose R.J. Hampton last year to New Zealand, from to play professionally in the Australia-New Zealand League. We lose what's his name, James Wiseman, to eligibility issues and contested eligibility issues. Cool. Okay. Sorry. Nobody feels sorry for Memphis. Nobody feels sorry for our. And then all of a sudden, Jalen Green elects to go to the NBA select team. In the developmental league, in the G League, the Gatorade League, making $500,000 straight out of high school, like it should be. But oh my God, what is, segment before in the prior day, oh my God, this is terrible, this is terrible. So they get this guy in Friday's segment to tell us nobody else is affected like this the way y'all are. Y'all are like eligibility issues central. We got to take our team with what we have and just grow with it. Okay. Fine. You had to have your head set straight by someone with a national profile, and I'm glad. We're in that. Yeah, when I listened to Jeffrey and Mark's segment on 929ESPN.com on Thursday about, wow, I mean, this is terrible. This is going to like as bad as it gets, set us back years. Blah blah blah. The Penny Hardaway experiment's going to fail. Blah blah. I knew I wasn't dealing with the sharpest tools in the shed by any means, irrespective of their credential. But so Clinton Yates set them straight and dead. So when they get talking about using their own, basically when they get back in their own head, talk about the news of the day. Mark mentions the stats that I usually open up this segment with. They got 716 deaths in Shelby County. We have 716 deaths in Shelby County. Cases of COVID in Shelby County, and 35 deaths. Puts us right at 0.2% of the population. When I first started doing this a week and a half ago or so, we were at 0.1% of the population. And the three of the deaths he mentioned were in a senior assisted living facility close to him in Germantown, Tennessee. You all know it's a affluent suburb of Memphis, and that is material. I'll tell y'all why. Jeffrey comments, yeah, about all this stuff about how it all impacts us, this COVID-19 stuff. When was the last time the protesters actually supported Donald Trump? Talking about what's going on in Michigan, Ohio, and Minnesota. When was the last time the protesters actually supported Donald Trump? Idiot! Try Charlottesville. Incredible. And then Mark says, if this goes on into May, you know, the people in my neighborhood are going to get fed up. His neighborhood that just lost 3 people. His affluent neighborhood that you know, lost 3 people in their neighboring assisted living facility.